Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of September 7th through the 13th. And during that time, we will have a full moon that comes in on the 8th of September, and that could be a time of heightened emotions. We could be prone to being overwhelmed and anxious. For some people, snappy and irritable. Maybe your sleep patterns are interrupted a little bit. But it's a good time to release any resentment or fear and also to practice patience and calm. So keep that in mind. We also then move into the waning gibbous energy for the rest of the week. And that is a good time for self reflection and rebirth, a good time to make positive changes, get rid of some bad habits and negative thinking, and just kind of work towards your goals. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. Okay, your overall message for this reading, and this card wants to pop right out. It's a time to give rather than take. All right, let's see what Sagittarius Collective has going on as they're giving. I know that there have been signs that I've done readings on already that are definitely in need of the signs that are giving. So got a few signs out there that are struggling. So if you have someone in your life that is a different sign than you, I'm sure many of you do, you may want to cross watch for them. Just saying. All right. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit the subscribe button, and you do need to be logged into YouTube or Google to do that, but it really helps my channel, and I would appreciate that so much, and it is super easy to do, so I'll give you a moment to do that right now while I'm shuffling. Thank you so much, and if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I really do appreciate that. All right, my weekly reminder is that you take time to meditate. If it's not something that you normally do, maybe take a little time this week, maybe while that crazy full moon energy is going on, and just still your mind, body, find a little corner somewhere where you're comfortable, and just take some time to quietly go within. So if it's even if it's just a little bit of time, just try to start working that into maybe not your daily routine. If you can, that's great. For me, that's a bit much. I try to get a couple really good meditations in a couple times a week. I just tend to be very hyper. It takes a lot to settle me down. So, but there's a lot of guided meditations on YouTube that are helpful if that's your case as well. So just try to start working that into your routine. I've been starting to work on the Monroe the binaural beat meditations, and those are very awesome, but they're pretty intense. So anyway, different methods out there. Give one a try today. Okay, Sagittarius, without further ado, let's get into this reading. September 7th through the 13th, a time to give rather than take. And your overall present energy, wow, this card has come up so much, is the Three of Swords here. I mean, I want to say in the last maybe 4 or 5 readings, this card has come up. So again, if you're a cross watcher, there's a lot of commonalities that I'm seeing with this card. There's a lot of disappointment happening this week. I'm not sure what's going on in the collective. It's weird. I've been reading for people for a while, and reading for the collective has actually been educational for me because I can see some of those threads that are running through the collective. It's very interesting. But this is a card of just heartbreak, disappointment. It doesn't have to be complete and total meltdown, but it is something that you're hurt by. There's a little bit of sorrow going on. We'll try to see if it becomes more clear in what way for you as these cards come out. Your current situation is, yeah, this card's been out as well with the 10 of Swords. So you're done with something. It's something has disappointed you. You're done with it. You're letting it go. So of course, tens are endings, but with every ending comes a new beginning. But there's something that this is kind of a collective thing. So I'm kind of curious to see what goes on in the world this week, actually. At the root of your situation is the Page of Cups. Okay, I swear I shuffled these cards. You saw me. This card just came out. I think it was in the Scorpio. All of these cards were also in the Scorpio reading. So if you have a Scorpio and you want to crosswatch, at the root of your situation, the Page of Cups is kind of a lighthearted card. Our page, I call the page our comedian. It could, maybe did someone say something that was supposed to be in jest, maybe that you've taken the wrong way, and it was supposed to be funny, and maybe you didn't find it as funny. And if that's the case, that's just a miscommunication. You just need to confront that person nicely, do it nicely, of course, and say, hey, I know you made that joke, but I'm sensitive about that because of this. Sometimes people just don't know. They don't understand that that is something that is sensitive to you, or that you're sensitive about. So, in your recent past here is a new perspective with the Hanged Man. So it looks like you've been through something that has kind of caused you to look at things in a new manner. Hopefully you're keeping your sense of humor throughout here, but it is something that maybe you've decided you're done with. This new perspective, something that has kind of changed your mind, made you look at the world in a different way. And it could just be something that you're letting go because you're like, well, that didn't really work out. Psh, I'm done. I'm done with it. Right. That's definitely you're done. And it could just be a mental thing that you're done with a certain way of thinking. That has maybe just affected how you are in the world because you were thinking that way, and you've just come to this realization, like, I'm not thinking like that anymore. That's not as positive as I could be. Maybe it was something negative. On your mind this week is the Temperance card as you try to balance things back out. Of course, you're just trying to, that's a good place to be. This is one of my favorite card, and that this is a card to me that's like the angel of the deck, the inspiration. This is about just having that awesome balance that I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right word that I'm looking for because it's on your mind. It's just really balancing out your mind so that you're not having this negative, that dark. I mean, look how dark this card is. Whatever this is, these swords have been on your mind. Like, let them go. Let them go. What is just ahead of you here is the Page of Swords. So, a new way of thinking. Absolutely. And a new way of thinking, and you're going to kind of have a sense of humor about it here with this Page of Cups too. So I really like when those pages show up. They're just are young, fresh, and it's like you're setting off on a new foot. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Fool pop out in in this reading also, which kind of the pages remind me of. It's like you're just setting out on a new way of being, and it's a new time. Maybe we were going through the seasonal change right now. It's a new season. You're just going to do things in a different way. In your advice position is to go ahead and collaborate creatively with others around you, and talk about these things. I mean, I'm even getting that a lot of times this card can be creative or related to work, which that could be. It could be that there's a new season upon you. So you're going to have these conversations at work. How are we coming at this new season? What things are coming up? We're going to creatively just have fun with this, have a sense of humor, but we're going to think about things in a different way. Maybe that is just a way to make work more enjoyable, to make more money, which is always a good way to do it. But you're going to collaborate with others on how to do that, and that could just be something that you are done with. You're done with the old way of doing it. Let's kind of have a new attitude, right? What is beyond your control this week is feeling like you against the world. So maybe it's just you coming up with these ideas, and you have other people that are poo-pooing them. Hold on to your ideas, and go ahead and fight for it a little bit. It doesn't have to be a big argument or anything. You may have naysayers and people that disagree, but go ahead and kind of hold your ground there, because it's definitely beyond your control to feel like that. To feel like, is no one listening to me? That kind of feeling. So but just hold on to your ideas. I'm sure they're good, and I'm sure they're creative. They're coming from a good place. They're coming from a place of inspiration here, with this Temperance card. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid? Is the Seven of Cups, which is kind of, is it your secret desire to kind of see what else is out there, to kind of, this is kind of like, I'm in a good place right now. Let's see what else we can do. And I do get that with this creative collaboration card, is that things are good, but can they be better? Can we collaborate to make things better? Again, if this is a work situation, tarot is a template. This could be a relationship situation, or something going on with your family. But it is a time to give rather than take. And I think it's about being giving of your thoughts and your ideas, and throwing your creativity into whatever it is that you're going through this week. In your outcome position is the Emperor card, which is about leadership. So all of these cards are saying to me, this is you feeling like you against the world. And like I was saying, hold on to that vision. Don't, you know, don't let the naysayers kind of come up against your creativity and poo poo your ideas. You're trying to go to a better place. And you do that by being a leader. So if other people don't want to participate in these fun ideas and things, it's your time to give those ideas. And it may be time for you to just try to implement them on your own or with whoever agrees with you. And you leave those naysayers behind, right? What is hidden from you this week is the Six of Cups. So this is kind of our enjoying the moment and maybe thinking about, our past in a more youthful time and kind of reminiscing. We're not really doing that this week. I feel like you are really focused on the future. You're done being disappointed. You're done with it, and I feel like you do want to move on. I feel like for some of you, this is a work related thing. You just want to go into it with a fresh attitude and accomplish some things that you know you can do. So let's see what the Soul Oracle deck has to say. Soul Oracle deck for Sagittarius, September 7th through the 13th. During this full moon period, while Sag is trying to be very creative, begin to explore, is what the Soul Oracle deck says. Yeah, I like that a lot, especially with everything else that we've discussed here with this creativity and just bringing a new fresh look to things. And again, if you're sharing it and other people might be like, let them be like that, right? You do your fun creative thing. All right, what should Sagittarius do in the way of self-care this week as they're kind of going through this? The card that comes up here is Friend. Be as good a friend to yourself as you are to others. Great advice. And, when it comes to this, be good to yourself. I know if you feel like you're kind of, fighting against other people and whatever, again, hold your ground, but be good to yourself and be nice to yourself. Do nice things for you, Sagittarius. So I really appreciate your time here with me today. I hope there was something in this that you can take away and use in your week, this coming week. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a message down below in the comments and let me know. Are you taking on a leadership role somewhere? Are you being creative somewhere when it comes to your work life? Or is this in another area of your life, something that you're just done with, that you're ready to try a new angle at and see what the future holds for you? So, again, I really appreciate your time here with me. If you like my reading style, of course, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, pushes me out into the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much from you. Also, more importantly, Sagittarius, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.